Biker Billy cooks with fire.
All right, here we are. We're back. We've done away with everything that wasn't there before except what's here now, and that's good cooking. Yes, we're going to cook some exciting things. Oh boy, I got to tell you, we're going to cook something that's almost addictive. Yes, once you get into this stuff, you can't stop. It becomes a passion. It's like outrageous. You don't even know what I'm talking about, but you will when we come back. We're going to cook with fire. All right! The fire still burns, and where there is fire, there is Biker Billy. And now he's back. Biker Billy cooks with fire, rising from the embers to re-release the long out-of-print Biker Billy's Freeway-a-Fire cookbook. You can order your first edition copy of the new paperback now at bikerbilly.com. Quantities of the first edition are limited. Act now to reserve your copy at bikerbilly.com. All right, get my apron on here so I can make a mess and I'll look good when I'm done. Now, I tell you, we're having so much fun. We're cooking. I got to do this without getting that hair tied up down in that apron back there, yes? The U.S. Sanitary Commission might make me want to wear one of them hairnets like those people who work in the lunchroom. No offense, people who work in the lunchroom, but I don't eat in the lunchroom anymore. All right, now, speaking of lunchroom, we're going to make something so twisted that this could be one of the delicious items on the menu at the cafeteria from hell. Yes, it is outrageous. It's fantastic, and I haven't even told you what it is. But I'm going to tell you, it's addictive. Once you get into it, you'll never stop. You'll just keep going. Give me more, give me more. That's right, motorcycling. All right. No, that's not what I'm talking about, but that is the most outrageous, the most exciting, fantastic thing in this world is riding a bike. You take the bike, you ride all the way down to the store, and you go get yourself a nice big bar of chocolate. That's right. Delicious, wonderful chocolate. This stuff here is bittersweet chocolate. Now, this stuff over here is unsweetened chocolate. The real stuff. Chocolate is an outrageous thing. We're going to cook something with chocolate. I got me a double boiler over here. We're going to actually melt down chocolate. The aromas that are going to come out of that pot are going to be unreal. You're going to have this dream that you're in heaven and everything is covered with chocolate and everything is delicious. And you'll be right. That's right. We're gonna cook chocolate killer cookies. All right. Now, these things are outrageous. And you know I'm gonna torture these little devils. It's like chocolate. I could go on for hours about chocolate. Here, let's just look at the boxes again. You got unsweetened and you got semi-sweetened. You can bake and eat this, and you bake this. If you eat this stuff, whoa, baby. You've tasted chocolate. Out there, you think, man, chocolate's really sweet. It's absolutely delicious. Chocolate is not sweet. Let me tell you something. Chocolate, and we'll take a look here. We got these little 1-ounce things. Doesn't that look like beautiful, real dark? And you can just sort of see if I can rotate this just right. There's a little groove down the middle where you can break that into 1 ounce. I think break that into half-ounce pieces. So that's 1 ounce of delicious chocolate. It looks like one of those chocolate bars, and you want to just go, if you did, you'd go, that stuff is terrible, because that's pure chocolate. You look on the box, no sugar, no nothing. Chocolate, which comes in these big pods off of these trees in the equatorial regions of the world. It's another American original. All right, Christopher Columbus. I think he may have taken it across, or maybe he left it behind. This stuff is great. It's seeds in a pod. It's roasted. It's ground. All this other stuff. But it's not sweet. It's so bitter. They used to make this stuff, and they'd make hot chocolate. They'd put beer or wine and melt this stuff there, and the royalty would drink it. And this stuff was bitter. But we're going to show you how to make it sweet. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our double boiler. What you got to do here before I just keep ranting and raving about chocolate is you're going to put some water at the bottom of the double boiler. And this is the way you tell that the water is over it. The bottom of the pot should be dry. The bottom of the top pot, when you put it in and take it out, it should still be dry. If you're getting water on it, it means there's too much water You're going to place that over there, and you're going to let that start warming. Now, you're going to take 2 ounces of chocolate. That's 2 of these little chunks. If you were taking this other bar, and I'm going to see if I can rip this open. All right, this chocolate, and if you read the ingredients, by the way, and this really is important to the recipe. It's not just my ramblings. If you use a bittersweet chocolate, okay, we'll just flip this over here. I broke this bar on the bike. This has got 1/2 ounce divisions here, so you would want 2 ounces of that. This has got sugar in it, so if there's sugar in here, there's less chocolate. Since we're going to use all of this sugar, you don't need any sugar in there. So take your 2 ounces, get it in there over the boiling water, and you're going to slowly melt that. Now, chocolate cookies. And let me tell you something. See these little things over here? These little white chips, they're going to go inside. They're actually chocolate too, except they took the cocoa out. You see? Well, do you really want to know all this stuff, Freeze?
I do.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you. But before we go into that, we're going to take a 1/2 cup of butter. This is 1/2 cup of butter, and we're going to take a knife here, and we're going to cut it into a couple of pieces. And you want this butter to soften. You don't want it melted, but softened. And we're going to throw this in the food processor. Now, you wonder why chocolate, and I mean, we'll look at this here. We'll pull this up here again. I got to keep going about this. I'm just like crazy about chocolate. You ever wonder why chocolate is dark like this, but then something that is this color can be called chocolate too? Did you ever wonder about that, Freeze?
Not since I was 8 years old.
All right, Freeze learned something when he was 8. Chocolate has got cocoa and cocoa butter. And when you get white chocolate, what that is the rich fat, the cocoa butter. Out of the chocolate, some vanilla, maybe a little milk, some other stuff. But it's not really got the chocolate flavor. Well, maybe it does. So, we're slowly melting these things over here. I'm slowly rambling on. We put a 1/2 cup of wonderful, delicious butter in there. We got ourselves 1 cup. That's right, I'm fooling with you. 1 cup of nice granulated sugar. And we're going to put that in the food processor. All right? And what we're going to do is we're going to cream this stuff together. So, we're going to whip it around. We're going to make it smooth and creamy. And when we come back, we're going to cook with fiery chocolate. All right! The fire still burns. And where there is fire, there is Biker Billy. And now he's back. Biker Billy cooks with fire, rising from the embers to re-release the long out-of-print Biker Billy's Freeway-a-Fire cookbook. You can order your first edition copy of the new paperback now at bikerbilly.com. Quantities of the first edition are limited. Act now to reserve your copy at bikerbilly.com. Hey, here we are now. We cream that butter and that sugar together, and take a look at it. There it is. It's nice, one solid, ooey gooey, creamy mess of sweet and fat. Now, we were talking before, you have hot cocoa. You like hot cocoa, John?
Yeah.
All right, hot cocoa is the cocoa. So when they extract all this white stuff, all the nice, delicious cocoa butter, which maybe you can get in like your suntan lotion. You like the smell of cocoa butter at the beachside, kiddies? How about you, John?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. When they take that cocoa out, the dark brown powder they have is coca. Yes, cocoa and coca. It gets confusing. It's like 2 exotic dancers at a club, right? Now, look on the back of a chocolate bar and you'll see that they often use vanilla. Now, we got some vanilla extract here. We are going to take 1 level teaspoon of vanilla extract. Uh-oh. Freeze. There's a little alcohol in vanilla, and Freeze has been acting a little strange lately. Freeze, did you get into my bottle of vanilla?
I brought my own.
You brought your own. Can I borrow it?
It's been consumed.
You drank that one too?
Yeah.
Well, then you're a bad boy, Freeze. John, how about some traveling music? All right, you let Freeze do it. Here we go. Woo! Baby, I had to go to the store. I mean, you wouldn't believe what they get for this stuff. Freeze, Don't you go drinking this stuff up. Now, we got 1 level teaspoon of vanilla. Let's see if this works now. There we go. 1 level. Can I make it without spilling it? Woo, baby! 1 level teaspoon of vanilla. Now, we are going to take ourselves a half a teaspoon of, now would you imagine this in cookies? A half a teaspoon of, what is this? Salt! That's right, is that your best friend, Freeze?
Yeah. Incidentally, you can use vanilla to replenish the car air fresheners, you know, the vanilla ones. When they get old, just soak them in vanilla water. It'll work great.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who would want to have anything that smelled like that around them, huh? Now we got a half teaspoon of wonderful double-acting baking powder, and we're going to put that on there. What do you think, Freeze?
You're the chef.
Now, we can blend this stuff up. That's what we're going to do. We're going to blend this stuff up, but first, we're going to take a look over here. Now, I don't know if we can get a shot down inside of the deep dungeon of this double boiler, but those cubes are beginning to melt. Over, not on top of the boiling water, and I'll tilt them a little bit, is this wonderful melting chocolate. So, man, can you smell that, John?
Yeah.
Oh, does that smell good?
Mm-hmm.
Does that speak to you of, like, calories and deliciousness and wonderfulness?
Lots of it.
Lots of it. All right. Does it smell like the beach?
No.
No, that's right. Because although it's got the cocoa butter, there's the cocoa, so it's not the same as this smells. What do you think, John? I tell you, these guys, they'll eat anything. This stuff is delicious. Once those chocolate cubes begin to melt, and they're about halfway melt, you can shut the heat off because the heat of the boiling water will be enough to melt it. Cocoa melted somewhere around 175 degrees or something, and you don't want to burn it. And once you melt it, you're going to have to let it cool a little bit before you add it in there. Now, Freeze, is there something missing from this as a recipe that I might make?
I may be getting off on a limb here, but I'm going to say hot peppers.
Yes! Cayenne pepper. Go out and get yourself a couple of ounces of cayenne pepper. Am I giving the right measurement, Freeze?
Yeah, I think double X.
Double X? Oh! He's talking about my shirt size. Now, why don't we grab ourselves a half... This is a 1/4 teaspoon measure. Now, this is a 1/4 teaspoon of beautiful red cayenne pepper. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sprinkle that 1/4 teaspoon on there. Now, is that hot enough, Freeze?
For the rest of us, but for you and television. For our viewing audience, give it some more.
All right, here we go, kiddies. Here is another 1/4 teaspoon of wonderful cayenne pepper. And I thought that was a mild. It gave you a little zingle. That's the way I made them, and I enjoyed them. So I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to put 3/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now, we're going to start this a blending, and we're going to have to add an egg, but I don't have my eggs here. They're in the saddlebag, and I think you should relax, sit back when we puree and blend this and cream this together. Ooh, baby, we'll come back and we'll add some eggs. All right! The fire still burns, and where there is fire, there is Biker Billy. And now he's back. Biker Billy cooks with fire, rising from the embers to re-release the long out-of-print Biker Billy's Freeway-a-Fire cookbook. You can order your first edition copy of the new paperback now at bikerbilly.com. Quantities of the first edition are limited. Act now to reserve your copy at bikerbilly.com. All right, now we'll take a look at this. We got that cayenne pepper all blended in there, and you notice it's got kind of a golden color to it. And it don't even smell hot. It smells like vanilla. That's a familiar aroma. Now, well, let's deal with the chocolate. What do you think, John?
Sure.
Now, here we got our creamed sugar and butter, and here comes the chocolate. Check this out. Watch this stuff pour. Ooh, baby, this is fantastic. This is the pure essence of chocolate. Now, you're really gonna have to get in here, and I don't know if you can see this, but this stuff is like just wonderful. This is black gold. Truly, absolutely the essence of pure satisfaction other than motorcycling. And, you might get that out of the smell of 50 weight oil or something, 90 weight if you're really hardcore. This stuff is fantastic. You tasted it, John. What did it taste like?
50 weight.
Right now, without sugar, this stuff tastes wicked. And I mean wicked. Now, scrape all of that out there because you want nice 2 ounces. Get that in there. Sit this aside. This is messy. Put it on the food processor. And I gotta go get the eggs. So while this goes, freeze. You think you can prepare some more traveling music?
Sure can. Got it. Da-da-da-da.
Hey, wait a minute. Look at this.
I can't sing over the blender.
I know. Check this out, gang. Somebody's been into my eggs. Now, we want 1 egg. 1 nice, extra large egg. And what are we going to do? We're going to call on the magic of the French gourmet. Whoa. Oh. 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 Well, okay. I guess that proves it, right, kiddies? I ain't absolutely, positively, no doubt about it. I got a little piece of eggshell in there. Ugh! I ain't no French gourmet. Now, what do? We got messy fingers. We spin it around. We grab that wonderful spatula. And this is the trick here, kids. You're doing this in the blender, you're saving or the food processor, you're saving yourself a lot of bit of whipping and beating and stuff. But that stuff is going to stick to the side, so you got to scrape that stuff down. Get icky, sticky, chocolate-flavored fingers with raw eggs on it. Don't eat the raw eggs. No, sirree, Bob. No, now. Get that stuff all smooth. Then you're going to gather up 1 1/4 cups of flour. Yes, good, wholesome, all-American flour. And you're going to put that white stuff on top of the brown stuff. Oh, baby, that stuff is beautiful. Now, what do you do? Around it goes. When it stops, Mike Freeze knows. Now, you know how Mike Freeze knows, gang? Because he can hear it. What you got to do is you got to scrape around 1 more time, and this is almost cookies. Now, this dough is nice and thick and rich. You want to heat your oven up to 375 degrees. We're going to blend this 1 more moment here. Now, you can tell it's a dough when it's kind of hard to see in here. But when you see how it's like a big lump over here and there's nothing over here, when it starts to freely move around the food processor, you know you got a dough. And it's nice and oily. And when you take this out, look at this. You can roll this in your hands and make nice little balls. Throw it and look at it just stick right there. It's like, oh, isn't that beautiful? Check that out. So now, cookies. What would cookies be without things to put inside of them? So you got your oven heating up to 375 degrees, and you're going to look around and you're going to say, give me a half-cup measure. Now you can put up to 1 cup of goodies in here. So what we're going to do, we're going to add a little variety. We're going to take some wonderful, beautiful white chocolate. Now you could use peanut butter, you could use butterscotch, you could even use chocolate chips. That's right. You're going to put in 1/2 cup of those. And I got some cashews. You can use almonds, pecans, walnuts, any kind of nuts. Yes, sirree, Bob. Get yourself a 1/2 cup of those. Throw them in there. Now, what are we going to do? It's so monotonous. You give it a little chop up, and you may find that this is the point that you just got to get in there with your hand. Take that spatula and give this stuff a little mix. You don't want to over chop those nuts and stuff. Now, we get this stuff all mixed up. We'll give that another spin in a minute, but we got our oven down here. We're gonna dig down here, and what are we gonna get? We're getting a baking pan, a baking sheet up. Oh boy, I got batter all over my fingers. And we got a can of chain lube. Okay, so it's cooking oil. And we're gonna spray up our wonderful baking sheet, our cookie sheet, get it all nice and greasy. Got our oven at 375 degrees, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this stuff in our hands, and we're gonna measure out little lumps of it, and we're gonna form balls about 1 inch in diameter. And you're gonna take them and flatten them a little bit and lay them on the cookie sheet. Yes, you form them little balls. You flatten them a little bit. You lay them on the greased cookie sheet. Oh, this is the best part, Mike. Do you like to get your hands messy with the food?
No, that's your job.
Well, now I'm going to lay these out. I'm going to get 6 of them going in here, and I'm just going to put them on there and stuff them in the magic oven, and when we come back, they're going to be cookies. All right! The fire still burns, and where there is fire, there is Biker Billy. And now he's back. Biker Billy cooks with fire, rising from the embers to re-release the long out-of-print Biker Billy's Freeway-a-Fire cookbook. You can order your first edition copy of the new paperback now at bikerbilly.com. Quantities of the first edition are limited. Act now to reserve your copy at bikerbilly.com. Check them out, John. There you go. There are your 6 cookies. You got the white chips, the cashews, and everything. 375-degree magic oven. We put them down there, and they're going to bake for 10 minutes. The house is going to fill with aromas. Everybody's going to run into the kitchen. But don't give them to the little kids because these are torturous, and little tongue, you should be protected. Now, look at that wonderful cookie dough. All those delicious, wonderful fillings in there. It's absolutely here. Let me bring that up again. Oh, boy, isn't that beautiful. That stuff is delicious. We put it down in the magic oven. 10 minutes go by at 375 degrees. And I forgot a mitt. Oh, no. Check it out. They're delicious. Oh, I spilled the vanilla. Boy, this vanilla smells good. I bet you if you, soaked something with this and hung it, on the windshield of your bike, it'd make even stinky highways smell good now. Look down here. Check this out. I'll take them off the cookie sheet. Don't let them harden too long on the cookie sheet because they'll get rigid on you. Now, you can see the cashews. This has got real chocolate chips. These are nice, delicious cookies. Look at this. Look at the texture of these. Now, this one's got nothing in it. If you bake them with no filling, you get about 18. If you put the stuff in, you get about 24. And remember, when you got chocolate bars that look like this, and some of them are sweet, hey, Freeze, what about that chocolate bar you found in our cabinet and tasted?
That was when I was 8 years old.
No, baby. Don't mistake your unsweetened for your sweetened. And these will give you a nice little fire on your tongue. They're absolutely delicious. The heat sort of sneaks up after the chocolate goes. Oh, baby. Oh, am I so content and happy. Mmm. Woo! All right! Cook with fire!
This has been an All Right production, copyright 1994 and 2017.